And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Planet Crafter. Regardless of whether they're watching this on YouTube or Twitch. While I was out on that break, I did remember one thing we may want to set up is a machine optimizer. And then, yeah, we were looking at amphibian farms, so put that in the pins so we can remember what we're working on. And then the pins are amphibians. We know what we're looking for as far as that is concerned. Is we looted during the last stream a energy multiplier fuse. So it would be a good idea to get that set up. Not that we need the power. We got plenty of power, but it'd be nice to have that set up. So, although I suppose that does mean I need to make a run for obsidian. And apparently explosives. So powder. Although explosive powder is pretty easy to come by. I say not being able to find any in the base. Well, that's a slightly different problem. Sulfur iridium. So sulfur's upstairs. Iridium's downstairs. The uranium rods are upstairs, but the maker is downstairs. Maker just happens to conveniently have one in it. And then you'll have to do a quick flight over the obsidian, apparently. I don't think I've got any obsidian around the base. I think if I did, I'd probably have it in here. Yeah, I'd probably have it in here. We'll take a quick flight out to where we get the obsidian from. The obsidian, again, might be a thing that it makes sense at some point to mine. We're just not doing it right now. We could also, I haven't set it up, obviously. We could set up more teleporters and use teleporters to move around the map instead of flying and moving and driving, but it seems like that would take a lot of resources that could potentially be spent better elsewhere. Okay, we take a quick trip through the Mushroom Valley, Mushroom Cave. We can get into the obsidian territory real fast. And then we only need the 3 obsidian for getting that one optimizer going. It holds more than one fuse, but we're going to put the one in it for the moment. Do some more exploring at some point. That'll probably get us enough fuses. Oh, that may get us more fuses later, so. One for the moment. Well, doubly so because we don't necessarily need the power right now. One for the moment is going to be plenty. There's the obsidian. Well, there's a obsidian. This is the right biome. It's not just the common ore. Although I don't think it's particularly uncommon. Against the backdrop here, it's not the most visible either. There's the 3 we needed. I'll grab a couple extra while we're here when I can see them. If I can see them. Again, this is a place we could set up a miner just to be constantly mining obsidian, so not being able to find a decent amount of surface stuff is not immediately a concern. we've got everything set up that we basically have infinite capacity to mine the inputs to the miners, so... Oh, actually some convenient super alloy here as well. Get off the ground while I'm thinking about it. Planes are not being low on water and food, so I need to get back to base. Although the water I can sort out on the way, the food we're gonna get back to either... Well, we've got itself set up to deliver to the rover, so I just gotta make it back to the rover. Rover's right now at base, so back to base we go. And then, terraforming-wise, we've got animals coming up. We've got our first animal designed. So now we just need to get the terraforming to the point where we can actually start installing animals in animal sanctuaries. Yeah, so we can build them, of course. There's the tunnel. The tunnel might not be that much quicker than just flying over the top, but I tend to be a person who travels via waypoints, so an obvious waypoint of go here, go through this tunnel, pop out here, fly that direction works reasonably well for me. Taking the exact same route I did to come in. Should be another way out over here. There's the way out. Well, this is probably closer to the way that I, the shortcut that I used to come through, but that'll be fine. And then, yeah, as soon as we get to the end here, the lake, we can drink it. Hydration level critical, yes. We are prepared for that. And then there's food again in the rover, so we just gotta get to the rover before our guy dies of starvation. And then we can get moving with those pivoting farms. We've got frog eggs. It'll actually be the mutagen, I think that's gonna be the hard bit. With crafting basically 3 sets of farms and 3 sets of frog eggs. And then this is our largest source of power, so this is where we want the optimizer. There we go, so that's affecting all of you. 150% more power. Those make a lot of power, so we should have way more power than we need. Yeah, we're now up to just short of 10 megawatts of surplus power. Yeah, I think we got enough power. We have enough power. Okay, so I'm thinking good old 3s. We'll start with 3 things of fertilizer. I need 3 things of common larva. 3 things of water will be pretty easy. 3 things of frog egg. Pretty easy. We had tier 2 fertilizer, so that'll be easy to grab. What is real easy, we'll grab that at the end. So it's just the mutagen that's going to be the issue. Tier 4 is tier 3 and tier 1. Tier 3's not that bad. Okay. I think I have some of the tier 1 already. Yeah, so there's the 3 tier 1s. I need the tier 3s, which we can go up and grab. Components to... So it's you, and then some of the cartridges from downstairs, outside. Left or right? I think it was the nitrogen. It was. There we go. Okay, so let's get the first thing of frog eggs going while we go find a place to put the frog habitat down at. Sequencing, good to see. Do I have frogs up here? I don't. Let's put frogs up here. Technically, these actually work without the frogs, at least as far as heat, pressure, and plants are concerned. Just, you need the frogs to make the animals. Alright, so we're going to want to come back and put some frogs in there later. But doesn't need them right now. One there. One over here. And I just need to come back and just shove frogs in them in a bit. And then we'll harvest the insects from our ecosystems. Do processing with it in a moment. No way to make uncommon ones, so we'll put the uncommon ones away. We're not really that interested in the lower tier stuff. So we'll disassemble the lower tier stuff for the moment. In you go, push the button. In you go, push the button. So, mostly common butterflies, but that's fine. Or common larvae, but that's fine. Okay. Now comes the first frog egg. It's done. In goes the stuff for the next one. The other thing I could be launching is going to be launching more animal rockets. Get that buff going. Animal rockets require genetic traits, osmium rods, tier 4 mutagen. Okay, so we'll need a little more tier 4 mutagen to get some of that going. Although that didn't seem too hard. Let's make 3 more of the tier 4 mutagen. So that'd be 3 more of you. And 3 more of you. So hopefully we've got some more. We do. More bacteria samples. There we go. Grab 3 rocket engines, and we'll make up a bunch of traits for export. Basically 3 of those rockets off. For extracting traits, the traits can be basically any of these. For simplicity, I'll actually go ahead and disassemble common, or change common into them. I've got a bunch of common. Or could I use eggs as well? Just generic eggs. I can use just generic eggs. Oh, that's gonna be easiest. We got that on tap. I think that's enough. For 3 rockets worth. It's not changing because it's actually cycling through the 15 or so we loaded in there. It'll look the same. So that's going. I just finished as I clicked off. Grab the next frog egg. Next one processing. There we go. I think I only need to put that many in, right? So it'd be 18, 6 times 3. Yeah. Actually grabbed 1 extra frog egg. That's fine. I can put it back. Easy enough to do. Put out our second of our more recently made eggs. Go from 0 animals being made to we put the eggs in and we're making just short of 4, well, just short of 4 kilograms per second, so it's not a lot. Thinking about it in like weight terms, kilograms not that heavy. Although it is per second, so that's pretty high speed production of stuff. And we need 3 osmium rods, and we can set off a bunch of rockets. While the last one is processing. So, load the rocket in, punch the launch, we wait for it to clear the pad, load the second one in, rinse and repeat. Yeah, don't ask me how frog eggs are magically turning into fish, because they are apparently. But yeah, that brings us up to 5 rocket animals. We're up to just short of 9,000 efficiency on animals. Which, if anything, actually shows us that heat and pressure are the 2 things we're lowest on at this point. From a multiplier standpoint. There might actually be another type of rocket that's worth launching. Get some heat and pressure rockets going. Because the amphibian farms are making heat and pressure as well as animals. Not a lot, but every little bit counts. Another batch of frogs going. And yeah, that's not showing the modified after the rockets are launched, I assume. So it is definitely pretty big at this point. Kilotons, kilotons, kilotons. Okay. Currently make the most insects, followed by plants, followed by animals. So animals are catching up pretty quickly with plants in production rate. And in many ways, actually doing those animal things is easier than probably making plants at this point. Although I may be tempted to do more plants at some point anyway. I think it's time to do some exploring. Instead of doing more crafting, let's go do some exploring. Let's go make sure we've got everything out of the wreck over here. And then we'll descend into exploring this area. And yeah, with the speed upgrades, we're much faster. We're over here. Oh, I don't remember if we pulled the chest off the top of... the golden chest off the top there. Might take the opportunity to go up. I can remember where the spiral starts that goes up the hill. Yeah, I think that's it. Truck here. And up we go. One of the previous times we were up here, we went all the way to the top because it looked like a way that you can go up. As well, it was. And found a golden chest. I don't remember if I picked it up because we were pretty full on inventory when we got there. That's not the way. There we go. The switchback that we're supposed to be taking up. Yep, yeah, so there's the golden chest. So obviously I didn't take the chest with me. Golden effigy, species trait, tokens. Just take the tokens, take the contents, take the chest. Ship over here. In we go. Might have to come in here a couple times to make sure we got everything. There's quite a few blue chests in here, I think, last time we were here that we hadn't picked up yet. Here's one, so take the tokens from it. I'm gonna leave the spacesuits behind. At some point it might be interesting to make it like a collection of them all. Definitely don't need that yet. And sort of more of a vanity, collect all the things sort of play, rather than a let's advance the quest. Just terraform the planet. Okay, so some technical debris that we disassemble. inventory is getting a little full. Well, that might have been what was left of the ship to explore at this point. Remember there being 2 upstairs areas we hadn't completely looted. Oh, there's another blue one. Okay, I'll have to come back in and take that chest. Did that side. Nope. In a place I haven't been this delve yet, although there was just the one technical debris. And got lost on the way back to the chest. There's a bunch of technical debris blocking the hallway. Okay, so there's one of the fusion reactors to power the thing. Interesting, the sound of rain is so strong this deep in the ship. Right. That one. Okay. Well, it looks like this ship has 2 fusion reactors. There's one. And no, it's just the one. Okay. Yeah, there's more of the ship to explore if we brought a fusion core in to power up the reactors. Or power up the reactor. And maybe it doesn't have the best ROI on it. Okay, so there's a way that I can drive into the volcanic area, which we don't really want to do right now. Let's go explore the crater site next. There's a blue chest we haven't looted. So I'm aiming for here. I think there's a way I can drive up and over that way. I might have to go by foot down the rest of the way. As I get most of the way there. Yeah, the bots are flying to where we were to pick stuff up from us, so they're having to redirect. We'll end up making the bots chase us a little bit here. Because I'm not going to sit here waiting for the bots to catch up. And to be fair, we'll halt the bots a little bit by taking the rover back to base when we're done, so... Oh, there was a hatch to explore here. Oh, there's definitely a bunch of super malware here. Well, I'm looking for an exploration place. I remember being here from watching other plays. There was one on the island in the middle. Might not be. It was one underwater. Although underwater obviously is going to be the fun of we can actually suffocate down here. The atmosphere is now breathable. Build some Nautica and surface to get some air. Oh, we're definitely getting some loot. Not getting, well, not getting the exploration that I wanted, but there's one of them. Space food. Blue chip that I probably don't need. I thought I'd find the perfect meteor crater to build my launch platform, but the visibility is atrocious. There's no way I'll be able to send anything from down here. I'll try to make another base higher in the crater rim, somewhere around -1 or -580, 85, under 52 should work. Hopefully the fog will fade away soon. So in theory, there is a base somewhere along the crater rim. Before we go explore that base, I need to get the inventory cleared out. Where did my rover go? Actually, keep the space food on us. I guess that's what we're leaving behind for the moment because the rover is full. That side. Further along here, that's a good question. Oh, there we go. So, found some tier 1 solar panels. I'll make use of them simply by just rebuilding them. Machine. So by disassembling them, reassembling them, we effectively add them to the power grid. Doesn't make a big amount of power difference, but it's more than nothing. Okay, get those doors out of our way. Left first. oxygen tanks. Sending message attempt number 86, 87, 89, 90, 91. Okay, he's not having the best of days as far as trying to send stuff. Sounds like my internet connection today. Thing is, I've apparently connected to the chat room 6 different times since the start of the stream. The internet's been having a day. Okay, there's more to explore down here. There was a sort of a treasure room there. Let's get back up to the surface. Get the inventory emptied again. I'm going to go with a different method than we used previously, which is I'm going to do a foundation grid. Or, well, instead of putting stuff back in the rover, we're just going to set up locker storage. And I'm going to dump the stuff in there that I think we have set up to be requested, like iron, iridium rods, osmium rods, uranium rods. It just gets dragged back to base when the base is ready for it. And if the base is never ready for it, then it'll stay there. Random butterfly larva? Wasn't expecting that. Interesting. One of the more interesting looking ones, and it's a 600 capacity, so it's not a bad one. Better than what we've been getting out of the ecosystem. Don't need that blue chip, but we'll take it. Okay, so down there that we're not going to do right now. Need the growth pods. Store on the wall. We'll take the wall. Inventory's getting a bit full. How many days have I spent on this planet? I can't tell anymore. Does my family even remember me? I miss them so much. I miss everything that is not a red rock at this point. Is somebody waiting for me back home? Is there really any chance of me getting out of here? Doing my best to survive, and I'm getting better and better at it. Maybe some help will come. Maybe they'll send a rescue team. There's no way nobody is looking for us, looking for me. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the surface because I'm full on stuff again. Apparently I'm gonna need another locker to store all this stuff. And back in we go. down to another level that we're not quite ready for yet. So we read that. We're going to want the circuit boards, so we'll take these. Tree seed. Oh, and that's the way back to where we came from. Okay. So that means it is time to go down again. Find the way down. Arp. Hunk of pulsar quartz. What if I just stayed here forever? I found enough ice to drink, and my crops are getting bigger and bigger. Successfully set up an energy source with a few solar panels, and for now at least, I have finally have a bit of comfort. Could I spend all my life by myself? Do you need company to live? Will I die alone? Something really strange about this planet, I can't put my finger on it. The more time I spend here, the more I want to stay. It is nonsense. 3041. I forget what year in the game we are in. We might be able to check that if we get back to base. But yeah, I think we are done exploring at least this portion of this guy's tail. Yeah, for some reason I remember him having a spot in the middle here. Apparently I was wrong about that. Thought maybe he had a third one. There might be a third one somewhere. He was also trying to build a launch facility. Also, that's not really where that's not the direction I want to go. I'm carrying water, aren't I? Yeah, let's drink that water. Of having to rocket down to the bottom of the hole again to get something to drink. Oh, there's another energy fuse. That'll be good. Oops. Oh, we've been in this cave before. I think the previous time we were in this cave before was before that converted from like a dusty crater to the wet crater it is now. It's been a while. Okay, I think we've flown up like here and looked down upon the crater. So I came up to about here and looking down on this is all giant dust ball. Not that bad anymore, obviously. Cargo has definitely improved, but yeah. We're gonna have to do some manual sorting of the inventory here on the rover if we're gonna want to keep looting. Anyway, we know we get to take everything home. Okay, I'll take them sitting because I don't think we have a chest set up for that yet. I'm surprised the rocket engines haven't been taken, but... We're leaving the rocket engines here over the mutagen. Because I know I've got a chest set up to request engines. And in fact, we know that there's a chest requesting things because just the pods can't keep up. That's what's going on. Yeah, let's get back to base and try to convert our fresh loot into useful stuff. Put the chip away first. And then I'll take some of these circuit boards to make space. So I've got 2 iron on me. What do I need? I think it's rocket engines, right? For the bots. Yeah, rocket engines, iron, and chips. And I don't got the engines in here, so I'm going to grab the engines. I don't want to make more. I think that's probably the first thing that's going to be super useful, is just get the bots moving faster so stuff gets shipped to where we need it faster. Well, say faster. More. More. Need more. And yet they're not all out and about. Huh. Drones available, 8 supply, 3 demand of the 19. Surprised we don't have more than running. Let's just make some more. And then we can use that energy fuse right away. In you go. More power. Go add the effigies to my set of effigies. That table looks a bit full. That table looks a bit full. Okay, so I just need another pile of effigies. It's iron to make another desktop. just 2. That's a little glowing drone effigy. This is the communications dish. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a third one of those somewhere. So we can make more drones. Going 3 more rocket engines. I just remembered what I forgot to do with those chests. I forgot to put them, assign them as supply everything points. That's why the drones aren't working super heavy. Before I forget, let's go fix that. Otherwise some of our stuff won't get back to base. And then, yeah, we'll probably be making more frogs. Basically, I'm fixing the supply all on these chests, and then we're going to be getting back to base and probably taking a short break. And then we'll do more frogs, probably, for more animals. More frogs, more rockets, rinse and repeat, basically. Run up here, and yeah, I forgot to set, oh no, you are set to supply everything. You are not. So we'll give it a couple seconds. Yeah, six bots right out to pick those up. Whereas the uranium, the iron, the iridium, why are they not requesting the answers? We just don't need it. We just don't need that right now. Those boxes are full. And yeah, we'll get back to base. We're about 2/3 of the way to the non-fish, non-amphibian animals. Which is at, well, effectively it's 1,250. It says 1.25 in that unit, because that's where the unit shift happens, is crossing the 1,000 mark here. Which is why I'm saying we're about 2/3 of the way. Which is a little under 2/3 of the way. We've already got our first animal made, so once we have that built, we can immediately put one animal out. And presumably the animals are better sources of animal than the frogs and the fish. Although the frogs are pretty good for right now, and the fish for basically taking up no space, right? They're taking up water space where you wouldn't put in the land animals anyway. Aren't too bad. make a couple more drones so I've got stuff in my inventory for it. But yeah, obviously I need to clear out the inventory a little bit here. I wonder if are the genes consumed on the synthesizer? Don't see why that would be. Yeah, they are consumed. First three required. The genetic trait down here is not, I believe. But we got those loaded in. Not gonna bore you too much with trying to stuff around. Yeah, I think I probably need to get a proper obsidian chest set up. So we've got a place to request all the obsidian too. Not that we have an obsidian miner set up, but... And yeah. Okay, we're getting a little full on various things. Just a little full. Obviously, I don't need frog eggs. Okay. We delivered that frog to his frog enclosure. Now, let me ramble on. Stop rambling quite so much. I think it's time for a break, as I have assumed. Things are moving. The thing obviously you can see on the list up there that's actually moving the most is the biomass. And I think the biomass is what we're going to work on. Or at least biomass plus, right? So the frog enclosure does biomass, heat, and pressure. The fish, I believe, does biomass and oxygen. So I was like, pop up the list here. Go check. Yeah, the amphibian is heat, pressure. The fish is oxygen, plants, insects. Amphibian also does a little bit of plants as well. Although the big ones obviously is animals. They're there for the animals. Use them for the animals. So, for example, getting on the fish farm up wouldn't be too bad. Getting more amphibian farms is just effective. And if we find ourselves low on larvae, we can set up more ecosystems for more larva income. I might set up another butterfly farm, although the problem with the butterfly farm, the tier 2 ones at least, is the fabric. Thinking about that, let's... And turn the supply off on it, so it doesn't end up in the export thing, but we'll put you back on fabric. Doesn't mean you'll have... silk necessarily hanging around, but we'll actually have some fabric hanging around when I want fabric. But yeah, before I get too much rambling going on, we got motion going. Definitely can improve animals more if we want animals to be a bigger component to the biomass. And we've unlocked everything except for on raw terraforming here. So we're working on towards animal shelters and the animal feeders. After that will be the tier 2 animal feeders, and then sort of the end of game things, which is the extraction and the travel rocket stuff, which is how we go for the other planets. So we're getting pretty close to the end of the game here. And I think technically the end of game is the extraction platform, which is the 4. At least the end of vanilla is the extraction platform, which is the 4 TTI here. So about a fifth of the way to end game. And as many exponential things go, it gets quicker as you get closer to the end. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I think we just had an ad break, which means it's probably not the best time to be taking a break, but I'll be taking a short break here. So on to the next bit, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.